Welcome back, everybody, to our third installment of the Fish Tank. I am Salty Phish.
I am Louis Smile.
And I am Twobold.
Twobold, that was very generous of you to let Louis introduce himself first.
Well, I deserve
it.
We
I know that he gets very testy about this.
We have some very important news that happened very recently. That's right, we are up to date on a lot of news and very big headlines. Microsoft just purchased Blizzard, our very creators of Overwatch. We're talking about Overwatch on the podcast, and this is
finally
and Activision. A lot of people actually think that this means that Overwatch 2 is saved. It's coming out basically tomorrow at this point because big bad company is taking over with their billions and trillions of dollars. But actually, I heard that Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision, in an email said that they're only going through with this plan in June of 2023. Like, that's when it actually takes into effect. And that makes sense.
It gets past all the, monopoly regulation stuff in,
I actually did want to talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, and the government and whatnot. If the government looks at them and is just like, are you being a monopoly? Come on.
They're called antitrust laws.
Yeah. It gets past all the antitrust stuff.
Yeah, and it's the difference between a horizontal merger and a vertical merger. So what Microsoft is saying is that it's a vertical merger, which I kind of agree with. I don't think that it's a monopoly merger, which would be a horizontal merger, is that Microsoft isn't only a game company. They are
they're a family.
They're a family.
Ohana.
They're way up the food chain or the supply chain, even though they are in somewhat the same industry.
Yeah.
It's not like it's like Activision Blizzard is joining Riot. Like,
sure.
It's not the same style of. It's not. They're both on the same level of the supply chain.
Sure.
And yeah, it's definitely way different. I think everything's gonna be fine. I think this is definitely gonna go through.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about like if it does go through. Mostly just because it's scary to me to see someone spend $70 billion. I think that's the craziest thing. Like, can you imagine how many people can just, like, walk up, look at Activision Blizzard and say...
It's in cash, too.
I could buy this. Like, there's got to be, like, what, 3 companies in the world that have that much money? And, like, one of them is Jeff Bezos, I think.
No, dude.
Did I? Okay, I don't know. I don't know if you guys looked up the specific stats.
Yeah.
I think I may have read the zeros wrong. Did I read that in total they have like $2 trillion? Did I read the zeros wrong? Is that right?
Probably not in liquid cash.
Their company
form.
is probably worth that.
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Like,
But
that's different from having
that's like how every stock, how many stocks and how much they're worth is.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy number to just think about, and like what it means for the games that could come out. Like, just the games. If we're just sticking to the games portion of it. Like, imagine how much money $70 billion is to just buy the company, right? Yeah. And then you still have all this money left over that you can use to just fund whatever you want. R&D, whatever type of games you want. And just, like, fund whatever comes your way. Because Microsoft really wants to push their Game Pass thing. Which is like, you spend however much money a month, like $5 or something. And you
which
have
I fucking
to, like,
love.
Every single game on their Game Pass. So the more things they acquire, the more things end up on the Game Pass, which is like
they have
the
25 million active users for the Game Pass right now.
Yeah, that's
still already pretty popular.
That's a lot of gamers, dude. There's a lot of people like us out there.
And that's just with the Game Pass.
So many friends to be
absurd. Yeah, no. A lot of them
so many children that have probably called me terrible things.
True. That is true. That's completely true. Especially those that can afford the Game Pass, that aren't begging mommy and daddy to sign up for a subscription-based service.
Oh my god, yeah. What about those that can only afford the Game Pass and they're living on the streets, but they have a Game Pass?
They have access to
They don't even have an Xbox or anything. They just have the Game Pass.
Please, sir, just a few dollars, and I too can play Overwatch in plat rank.
Theoretically.
And mess with Louis.
It is scary. It has only been an upward trend for the purchases that Microsoft has spent. Like, we have, so in 2014, they spent $2.5 billion. Then last year it was 7.5 billion for Bethesda, which, by the way, the reason that
they bought Bethesda.
They got
too,
Bethesda, yeah. The reason I am so, I guess I know about this news so much is because they released a trailer with blinding lights by The Weeknd, and they made it so hype of Microsoft. All of the Bethesda games like mixing, and then they had like the drop, and they had the cool sound effects in the trailer with everything. I hope they make just as hype as a trailer with, I don't know, another song like that. To announce
Except instead of all of the games like coalescing into that thing, you just have all the characters merging into more different characters of all their games together. Like suddenly Soldier 76 just comes out with like Doom Guy's like helmet on, just like, I like the look of this.
Soldier 76
Master Chief skin
in
Doom
Warzone.
76. Yeah, drop him in there. Let him go nuts with his visor.
Doom Guy in Warzone. He's unkillable.
No guns. Just beats
Super
you
pay to
death.
win. The most pay to win character ever.
Yeah,
Now just have him be like a environmental hazard, where if you kill too many people, he comes over and just beats the shit out of you. You just see limbs flying in the distance. You hear heavy metal in the background. You're like, drive faster! You can run at 30 kilometers an hour! You'd be like, I almost want to die to him. I want to see what it's like.
Yeah,
you're like,
they're legitimately concerned that Overwatch is going to turn into the next Call of Duty game. Like, they're just going to update the game every year or release a new title, and it's going to be the same exact
Overwatch
thing,
4,
which is just so impossible. I don't
think that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, definitely
at all.
definitely not. The only reason that it couldn't is because Call of Duty, it's just point and shoot. But with Overwatch, it's based on the actual characters.
Yeah, in Overwatch, you have to think. You have to be a real thinker when it comes to Overwatch.
That's one thing that I don't like about Overwatch. Well, this has nothing to do with it. Yeah, the thinking part. I just want to be able to let my keyboard do the talking for me without.
Are you telling me that FaZe doesn't think when they're doing the trick shots?
No, I think it's just pure like heart. Really,
it's
like,
pure
I think
heart
they just they just close their eyes when they jump off the ladder and YY stall, and they just let the gun do all the work for them. They just believe. I've seen FaZe gamers. I've seen FaZe gamers.
I wanted to be a FaZe editor when I was younger. That was my dream. I didn't even want to be a player.
Some of these FaZe edits.
Oh yeah. So I met a few people that were looking for a quote Call of Duty editor, and they happened to pick me up. And not only did I realize the truth of what goes on behind the scenes, I got kind of ripped off. I did a lot of work for free, and I learned that, well, I'm sure that a lot of the FaZe clips are very real, but the people that I was working with, they were setting up clips. I was, half of the time, the clips that I used in the montages that I edited, that was me being shot after being 720 no-scoped, grenade throw off the map. That was me dying. And I was just like, guys, this isn't right. And they're like, shut up, editor! And then they'd record the clip. And then I would just be sitting there, I'm like, this isn't right. And then I left.
How deep does this go, you think?
How deep? Do you think that some of these big...
Do you think FaZe?
Well, do they even make trick shot compilations anymore? I feel like
yeah, but that's what made them famous. Do you think they were all set up?
I'm sure at least a handful of those clips.
This is a hefty
accusation. I don't think it's an accusation.
Yeah.
I think it's just the truth. I think like you set up some of the clips.
It's
That's
just
how
so
it is.
impossible.
Like it still looks cool. It just looks cool. I mean, it's nothing wrong with
Phish
that.
has never doctored a recording to make it more funny.
FaZe, that's true. I definitely have done that. Okay, but okay. FaZe would come out with a montage of them jumping off of a map in Call of Duty, doing a 720 no-scope off the map kill, and they could come out with 3-minute frag movies probably once every 2 weeks. How can you pull something off so crazy that many times in such a quick amount of time and then have it edited?
It's called being good. In one really good day, for me, an average gamer, I get one clip. For FaZe, who have more heart than I will ever have, they're basically that one dude from the Captain Planet team whose like ring is heart, right? Where it's like that's their whole thing, man. Their gun just finds targets. It just hits collats. They just run into sites on headquarters and they just let the gun sing, and it just the melody, the harmony.
If I get picked
bullets, the headshots, it's just there, and they have plenty of clips, Phish, plenty of them. Too many, actually. One day for FaZe Clan is like a year for me. All right, that's how good they are. And I would like to bring up our next sponsor.
If If I get picked up by FaZe, I'm gonna change my name to FaZe Twobold. I'm just gonna go so much faster than you.
What the? What?
And then
Why
you're gonna
me?
change your name.
I'd be like, yeah, that's me. I'd actually just use your success to propel myself. People would be like, "Are you the Twobold from?" I'd be like, "Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
What's up? Why aren't you
And
doing
then I'd see
headshots?
you.
I'm over that."
When is
on to
FaZe
better
going to make an
things.
Overwatch montage?
What would they do?
I'm sure they
Now
have an
with-
Overwatch
now with
team.
Overwatch-
Oh no, never mind. Probably.
Probably
There's no
not.
heart in
Now with-
Overwatch. It's
now with
brain
Overwatch
when it comes
moving
to
up in the
Overwatch.
big leagues with Microsoft, I think
FaZe doesn't have any room to go into Overwatch. It's too much brain. They're all heart. It's the two different games.
there's no
entirely.
trick. Can you imagine a Widowmaker jumping off and trying to do a 720? There's no time. You have to scope in. There's no time for it. It's physically
Yeah,
impossible.
but you
to
scope
do it.
in. Your scope in sensitivity is like.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even think it would be possible to do it. You'd be spinning so fast that you'd have to hit that one headshot. There's no collat to it. You're just getting one kill, and then Mercy reses it.
This is.
And then you're off the map.
But yeah, I guess we didn't talk about it specifically. Do we think that this is going to either improve the quality and or speed up the time before Overwatch 2 comes out? Now that Microsoft.
I don't
As
know
Blizzard.
about time. I do
I
know
don't
that
either.
like I do know that like apparently what was his name? Bobby Kotick?
Bobby
Kotick
Kotick,
guy?
I believe.
Yeah, him. I know that he had the Overwatch team like working overtime on like a whole bunch of like projects, right? And then he would just come up to them and be like, I don't like it. And then he would just scrap whatever projects they were working on. And no one knew why, and that was just like just how it happened. So like without him there, I'm sure like production will speed up, but I mean, you still have to like take into account all the stuff that all the time that they've wasted and whatnot, and like that's still going to take time. Like Overwatch 2 isn't coming out anytime soon, but it will be better in the future if the merger.
I do
goes
think
through.
it's in good hands. Like
Like if it goes through, because that still has to happen. Like if
I think dude, there's no
it
there's no
probably
reason-
will.
if they
There's like I don't have the knowledge to tell you like from a regulatory standpoint why it wouldn't work out. Besides the fact that having large corporations merge with each other is generally a scary thing for consumerism. But
Yeah.
I don't know like specifically what negative sides that would be from people that like actually delve deep into antitrust issues and whatnot. But like it probably will go through just because people.
they, I
probably
mean
don't
they've picked
care.
up literally countless gaming companies.
Yeah, but
Like,
none of them
Bethesda
are $70
literally-
billion. That's the thing. Like they're talking about one of the major third-party companies in the gaming industry. Like they're not Sony related, they're not Microsoft related. They're like
But I
they're
haven't seen
a big powerhouse.
I mean,
by
this,
themselves.
maybe I just didn't do my research. We haven't seen the correlation between Microsoft picking up a company and then, like I said, I might not know anything, and then a game under that original company like Bethesda or something, their game like I guess improving in quality or getting like
I
updates
actually
constantly.
have.
Okay, so what is it? What is it?
Okay.
He's
So,
so excited. His face
a
lit up. He's
little,
like,
a little. Do you guys remember a little company called Bungie?
Ah, yes.
So Microsoft acquired Bungie way back in the day.
Oh,
Actually, before they
no.
released Halo, they were still working on it, and they bought them when they, learned about Halo and stuff. And we all know how big of an impact Halo had on the gaming community and gaming as a whole.
oh, true.
So if literally half of what went into Halo, making Halo great, can go into any of the IPs for Blizzard, it would be insane. Like imagine Diablo just getting the Halo treatment, or like World of Warcraft getting a complete overhaul of like, I don't know, graphics, because that game looks like fucking ass. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like I think it could be crazy.
So this was
And,
this was in the early stages of Halo, though, is what you're saying, right? Like years
Yeah.
ago. Okay. Yeah, I
yeah,
guess
the
I'm
first
talking
three
about
games
more
were pretty
present
good.
times.
Everything after that was kind of rough, but there was a lot of issues with that. So
That's what I'm thinking.
But
no,
even
no.
then-
But no. Okay, the thing is, this was
But they
before
look
Halo.
great. That
this
is
was
true.
before Halo had like a huge following, right?
Dude, Halo
Halo had a
without
huge
Halo,
following. Like
without Halo, there is no Microsoft.
I'm saying no. But what I'm saying is
Well,
that
no, maybe not Microsoft. There is no gaming area of Microsoft.
I'm talking
Like,
about a
the-
gaming community that existed, and then Microsoft bought that company that had to do with the gaming community, and then that gaming
I guess we'll still
community
see
was
with
improved
Bethesda, right? Like they haven't released anything.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm wondering, have we seen any correlation between the before and after a game of Microsoft buying them?
I don't know. I didn't see anything in the stuff that I looked at.
Exactly. We haven't seen anything yet.
People like Destiny.
Has Destiny?
Do they still like Destiny?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know anything about Destiny. I'll be honest with you. Like the Destiny community and I have never had a very good like handshake. I tried playing Destiny once, and basically what happened was I tried to go into the PvP section, and people just had better guns than me, and I was like, how do I get a gun that shoots as hard as your gun does?
You have to grind for
and they're like,
70
you have to
hours.
go play PvE, and I'm like, okay, for how long? And they're like, do you have 70 hours of free time? And I'm like, just to play PvP?
The answer is yes.
No, that's to probably play PvP.
Maybe not for that.
You do. Twobold does.
Yeah, but like not to just play Destiny. Like I could feasibly do it, but do I want to fight the same boss over and over again to try and get a gun that maybe spawns? It's like, I don't know. Plus I'd have to find people to do it.
What I am trying to get at is that they found crazy success in Halo, and it wasn't just because of Bungie. Like, Microsoft obviously had a hand in it, and if we can just get that a little bit. Like, they turned a $30 million, give or take, $30 million acquisition of Bungie, and they made $5 billion off of the Halo industry. Like, that's a crazy... Like,
yeah, that's true. I mean, when you get purchased by a massive company like Microsoft, they're just like, all right, we put this much money into you. We're going to make it back. And this is how we're going to do it. And their marketing team stays up all night for like a year and a half. And they're like, we have the perfect pitch. And then they make Cortana, and she's sexy and blue. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's the stuff. So I want to see what they do with Mercy, basically, is what I'm getting at here. I can't wait for that campaign. Turn her blue. And the Widowmaker treatment.
There's another thing that I did want to bring up is that I mean, I don't know if we want to go into it super hard, but Microsoft buying Blizzard also makes them liable for all of the ongoing lawsuits that they have of you know, female discrimination and just excessive, I guess you would call it, frat behavior of Activision Blizzard. Which could either just make that all go away because the lawyers that Microsoft have probably are like superhuman in law.
I mean, you'd have to be, right? Like, if there's one good thing that comes out of Microsoft, like, acquiring Blizzard, it's the fact that, like, the second they smell a lawsuit, possibly a stirring, someone is disappearing from the company. Yeah. And it might be loud or it might be quiet, depending on how their lawyers decide they want to execute a man. Because
every
at that point, once you have
Blizzard disappears.
Well, yeah,
dude,
what's his name, Bobby? Everybody is gone. Well, I mean, Bobby Kotick. This is what is it? Was one of the people that just disappeared from the company, but everybody's saying like this is a good thing. But he got so much money from his pardoning or his leaving. So
yeah, I don't think it's a pardoning. I think it's he was handed an early retirement because they're just like,
please leave.
Yeah, get him out of here. Get him out of here as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I still don't think he should be getting $300 million from the severance package. Yeah. I feel like that should be significantly reduced to, say, not millions of dollars, but hardly anything considering what was going on. But, you know, you got to take what you can get, I suppose, in the corporate world where that guy managed to do this and get away with it, essentially. But I think the best part is, like, Microsoft is like, okay, if any of you guys so much as looks at another person and we see you smile too much, our lawyers will kill you. Like, because I'm pretty sure at this point, once you have 60 to 70 billion dollars to throw around, and then still have 70 plus billion dollars of money just lying around afterwards, you can hire an assassin. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, they're not that expensive at that point. Like, it can't be that hard to take out one person for fucking with your company. I'm going to be real with you.
They also just in general, like, they just have higher uppers. Like, when this whole thing was, I guess, very recently sent out into the public, there were leads of, or the top heads of Blizzard that were just leaving and being replaced, and now it's kind of, it's like you can't really where was I going?
Yeah,
with
now
this?
you get the Microsoft. Now you get the Microsoft people.
They have
to
people
get in
kind of
there, and they're
above
just
those
like,
people
listen.
that are being replaced originally.
Yeah, exactly. And Microsoft is like, all right, you guys don't with this, or I will end you.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
It's actually pretty funny. So Blizzard's stock since the acquisition has, I think, skyrocketed, if I'm not mistaken. And Microsoft stock has actually been tanking a little bit.
I think that's just what happens when
That's
they
called
spend that much
equivalent
money.
exchange.
It's called equivalent exchange.
Equivalent exchange.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes you have to.
Yeah, they're down 4%. I don't know if that's like a lot, but
Yeah, like I said, I think that's what happens when they just make a big purchase like that. If
like my
probably gonna go
grades
back
went
up.
down 4% in school, that's probably not that much.
no.
So that's probably equivalent.
I've had a 5% in a class out of 100.
And suddenly that 5% means a whole hell of a lot, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. If I lost another 4%, I'd be in pretty dark, swampy water.
I mean, if 5% I was drowning, 1% I would be really drowning. How do you get a 5% in a class?
Did I ever tell you that story? That the teacher brought me up in front of the whole class and pulled up all of my grades.
Is that even legal?
I don't know. And she was like, "You have a 5% in my class. Look at everything you haven't turned in. I have kindergartners, and I have never seen a grade this low."
What grade were you in?
I was in senior year, so
Of high school?
Of high school.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
pretty solid stuff right there. How did that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
That is
One
amazing.
of, I had something of a similar deal happen to me in a science class where it just led from one thing to another. So I forgot to do homework one night, and then the next morning it was simple. I was just like, oh, I didn't do my homework. This is the beginning of the year, so they're like, okay, well, that's fine. You missed one homework. I mean, that's bad, but come on, just turn it in tomorrow. And then I did that homework, turned in the next day. But then because of that, I forgot to do the homework that was due that day as well. So I was 2 days behind at this point, or not behind, but yeah, I was still behind. And that kind of led into one homework into the other to the point where I just did not care. And this went for probably 2 weeks straight of me just turning in the homework a day after everybody else. So I was consistent, but I was always late. And then the one day that I did end up finally catching up, and I was finally able to turn in 2 sets of homework in one day that were, obviously one of them was late, but one of them was on time. The teacher took it and posted it on the whiteboard, and I handed it in early. I actually got there kind of early. And they said, it's a miracle. They took the marker and then they pointed it at the paper and they said, it's a miracle. And everybody was walking in and they saw my late homework on, literally posted to the whiteboard next to the text that said, it's a miracle. So I kind of got publicly humiliated in that sense too.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, I was so uncomfortable.
In middle school, if we want to keep on this subject, in middle school I was in a math class, and we used to have these workbooks that was our schoolwork or our homework, and I would never do it ever. Mm-hmm. But then I realized that she would call us up to check it, and just check if things were done, and then okay, you did your homework, and I was like, she is definitely not reading the numbers and know what every answer is. There's no way.
Yeah, it's not like they're all the same thing.
I would just put random numbers. And I did it so much that I ended up just putting all 5s. And then the 5s kind of slowly turned into S's. And she saw this one day and was like, Lewis, you just put a bunch of letters.
It's algebra. That's half of it.
But another thing I wanted to bring up about the Microsoft merger, last thing for me, is that the CEO or the person that's dealing with the Microsoft buying on Microsoft side, he says that this is going to have huge implications to the, drumroll please, metaverse.
Yeah.
Yep. I can see, I don't know exactly what that means. They haven't gone on record and saying what they plan on doing, because I don't think anybody knows what they're planning on doing in Web 3 or whatever. But I do know that they're acquiring a lot of IPs, i.e. every Overwatch character, every WoW character, every Diablo character, and being able to put that onto whatever the fuck the metaverse is, whether it be like crazy VR games or like, I don't know, people are going to be able to buy Hollywood in Blizzard or in Overwatch. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I know that that was like a big driver for them buying Microsoft, is to prepare for the metaverse.
I'll tell you right now,
Blizzard.
if I can buy Paris in Overwatch, I would do everyone a favor and can that map. I would just go. Listen, we don't need the French. We don't.
So the metaverse is already up and running in the sense that it's a program that you can use in VR, right? And essentially from clips that okay, so what are these clips that I'm seeing of these people? It's kind of, it looks like VR chat, but minus all of the anime people. It's just like regular.
That's just like another version of VR chat that like I think Facebook's doing.
Okay. I was wondering because I saw there was this clip that I saw of this one guy who was walking around with like community manager or something, and then this guy went up to him and talked to him and asked him, it's just like, what are you doing here? And he said, yeah, I'm being paid, I believe it was about $16 to $20 an hour to just stand here, and if anybody comes up to me and has questions, I can help them find their answers or show them around and stuff like that. Yeah. So there are already like jobs like that are in effect.
It's a banging job.
I heard this from this is completely hearsay, and but I've heard that they've already sold most of America digitally, like on the metaverse. That like other people own like Rodeo Drive, so like, you know how Versace has like a landlocked store there. Somebody else owns that, but digitally.
What's that even mean?
Does someone own me digitally?
Yeah, it's possible.
Bro.
I mean, AJ, Louis' roommate, minted me on the blockchain, and Fish also has me like on my screen. Anyways, I'm a poster.
I have a cardboard
now.
cutout of Twobold sitting in my room.
Yeah, so like, it's possible. I assume my soul has just been like.
It's good old fashioned.
I'm not going to pretend like I know what the fucking metaverse is. I know it has to do with, you know, I hope it's not just, you know, fucking in a year from now we see Microsoft release a bunch of fucking JPEG NFTs of Overwatch characters. Please God, do not let that happen. But you know, it could be cool. It could mean like Overwatch in VR, or like I think Diablo VR could be a fucking awesome game. That could be really fun, very scary even. So yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up. That they did bring up the word metaverse like 3 times in interviews.
I'm pretty sure metaverse is also like just a stock term for like
it's like a buzzword,
video games or whatever. But that's besides the point. I think it's just another thing that's going to be happening in the next couple of years, because like this whole entire merger basically just signals the next generation of the internet is coming. And we get to be on like the same level that our parents were when it came to like transitioning from DVDs to streaming.
I think we're going to be better though. I think
CDs
us as a generation
just
understands it better.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean we have a better foothold just because we were there during the initial transition from, you know, digital to whatever it was we're doing now.
Googling boobs and making it and letting it load for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever the transition was, like period wise, from like cassette tapes to CDs to DVDs to digital. Like we've been through that whole transition already at a very young age, so we understand like the process of it. And like none of this technology is so out there that we're just like, oh, I don't understand what's going on. How can you do this without a rotary phone? It's like it's not like that. It's like I have a VR headset and I'm like, all right, I get the general idea. I move this and that means this, and I'm not going to run into my wall because I don't understand how you get a human body inside a video game or whatever. Like it's not that extreme yet, but like it's the same necessary process. Like it's the initial footsteps towards that jump for whatever that jump is. And you know, the old Zuck thinks it's going to be just VR. Like that's the next future is literally that, but I don't know, I still don't think VR has come nearly close enough to that level to really.
AR is pretty cool.
Do that, but it's, you know, whatever. I don't have much experience with AR, so I don't know that either. But like, I am interested in where this is going.
What I think is gonna happen is that instead of like, you know how like I have posters and stuff like that. I'm sure you have posters.
have
like
posters.
Fish has a poster.
I don't have any posters.
I think houses are gonna be
green screen.
blank, and
It's
everybody is
literally
either
just
gonna
this.
have like eye implants or glasses or shit like that. That you can buy different like Sims-esque like posters, and it only shows up in the AR.
I don't know
that could be
about that one, man.
They've talked
That's
about
like-
I've
that's
heard
like
about, I think
super-
Louis and I talked about it the other day.
Super in the future.
Firm handshakes all around. You should just buy the battle pass and fuck yourself.
I don't know if I'd be. Well, first of all, okay, I would take the glasses portion any day of the week because eye stuff scares me. Putting on I would be completely fine if I walked into a blank household and they're like, if you want the true experience, you can either get laser surgery or glasses. I'd be like, yes, I'll take the glasses
My
any day of the
true
week.
home experience.
Yeah, because it's just a blank. I'd be like, where's all the pizzazz? Where's the homey feel? Put these on. Ah, okay.
That's a lot of anime.
That is a lot of titties. That's a crazy amount of
Man, I
just
should
feeling
take these off. This is wildly uncomfortable.
Would you guys get implants?
Like
Are
titties?
you kidding me? I want no, not a titties.
What did you mean?
You want the full like okay,
like
so
what
like
you-
suppose the next step in internet or gaming or fucking just being part
Everybody
of
has boobs.
the internet is in yes, everyone has boobs. No. The like you get an implant in your neck or something and then your mind is automatically hooked up to the internet or some shit.
Yeah.
Like that. You do that?
Anything but the eyes. I am terrified of eye stuff.
I am concerned of having any
Ready?
chip placed inside of
What
me,
is wrong
like,
with you?
at all. Louis just tried to touch his
I would do
eye.
it. I would do it in a heartbeat,
Like he
I
pulled the
think.
lid down and put another finger and started like poking at his eye. It was gross. And Fish is like literally recoiling from it. Did you not do the thing where like
close.
when you get something in your eye? Do you do the thing where you like pull on your eyelashes and pull it over like the
I
top?
call the hospital.
The...
I
what are they
asked
gonna
them
do?
put
Not
me
touch
under.
your eye?
I asked them to put me under, and then they just reach in there and they pull it out. It's a very quick process, very expensive, but it's that's how terrified I am.
Totally worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Anesthesiologist like this motherfucker.
What is it
God, I
this
hate
time?
this guy.
It's one of his eyelashes.
I do where I grab my top eyelash lid and like the eyelash is on my top lid and then I pull it like over the bottom lid and then it just gets the dust out like instantly.
I usually just blink a lot.
Yeah, I
And
don't
it kinda,
like blinking.
fixes itself.
If you know me, you'll notice that I don't
What a
blink.
weird thing.
I don't blink.
What a weird thing.
I
to
don't
not
like missing
like,
things. When I blink, there's like a quarter of a second where like I don't see stuff and I don't like that. So I don't
It's not
blink.
even a quarter of a second.
Yeah, it's like a fraction of a second, but still, do you know how much stuff can happen in a fraction of a second? Not much, but I don't
Not
want to
a
miss
lot.
it. But I don't want to miss it.
Dude, Valorant
So, like,
all
I-
the time. It gets me to the point where I'm stuck to my screen and just looking
Yeah,
straight ahead without
exactly.
blinking. There's games
Yeah,
like
Valorant is terrifying. If I blink in that game, I've already died twice, actually. Like, it's like because I'll be rezzed by the sage
that. I
and
have
then
a
I'll die.
Valorant clip. Oh, you did, I don't know if you guys saw this. Critical put out a video where he apparently has a clips YouTube channel where he uploads not full length 8-10 minute videos, but little clips. And here, wait, I wrote this down, but apparently on a 1 million. Wait, where was it? He basically had a video that had 5 million views or something, and it made him a total of $24.
What?
Yeah. And now I, that sounds crazy, but I also learned that another person put out another video to respond to that, and apparently the simple fix is that YouTube, they put ads in front of your video if it's a 30-second clip. So there's that whole thing, and there's this guy that got, I believe, I might have written these numbers down, but he got $3,000 on that video, on a clip with 1 million views. So
as long as you have 30 seconds.
as long as you hit that 30-second threshold, then you can put ads at the beginning of your video, and then bam, there you have it.
I was actually going to
But-
say that because I saw the same thing, and then like immediately after I saw Critical's video on that, I saw the like literally in the recommended section it was like, "This is what Critical got wrong," and I'm like, there it is.
That is
I was
a
like, there's
very key
no way
thing
in
to
hell.
leave out.
And Critical
Yeah,
very
there's-
rarely gets things wrong.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Normally he
But there's
talks
also
about-
there's also the fact that YouTube is aware that there are people that watch an ad at the beginning of the video, and especially if it's a clip that's 30 seconds long or so, they're just gonna they're gonna think it's not worth it to watch this 30-second ad to watch a 30-second clip, and they're gonna click off of it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
But that's why you
Does
have one of the
YouTube
5-second ads.
So I pay for YouTube Premium.
Me too.
Right? Does my view
you actually make more off of premium users.
off of premium viewers? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
glad I'm not
subscribe
taking
to
away
things.
from the content creators that I
I don't
watch.
subscribe to things at all.
You're a fucking liar.
You have to be
No.
subscribed to
I,
that.
Do you have
I don't-
Netflix?
I don't subscribe to anything. No, it's not mine.
Do you have Netflix?
Twobold
It's
does
not
not
mine.
have Netflix. Oh.
I'm a mooch.
Do you have Hulu?
I'm a mooch. Hell no. Why would I have Hulu? That's
Twitch
all
watches
free.
all the
That's
shows
free
on
already.
Twitch.
I watch all the ads on
I just
Twitch.
wait for Hassan to go live, and then I have my TV there.
Dude, people are still doing it, even though like apparently what is it, like Pokemon got banned for watching.
Disguised Toast
Disguised Codes also got banned?
for 30 days for watching Naruto.
Wow, okay.
I believe it.
So that's still in effect, isn't it? Yeah, people I guess people don't know the background. The Twitch meta, I don't know if it's still like very current, but I still see people doing it, big streamers doing it, is that they literally watch these
Full-length
very
TV or
well-known, movies and TV shows on stream with their little face cam on the side. And they know that it's against the rules because there's this thing called a category on Twitch that you can set. Usually, let's say we're playing Overwatch. You set the category to Overwatch. When people are watching these TV shows and movies, they don't have a category at all. So it's not
Just chatting.
It's not appearing. No, they don't even have just chatting. A lot of the times they just get rid of the category so they don't appear under another one. And that's just the thing to do on Twitch nowadays.
I watch Ghost Hunters International. With
Oh,
my
you're
cat.
just gonna expose yourself like that?
It's okay.
Okay, yeah.
I don't watch anything.
I don't think Taps is gonna come after me.
I haven't seen a TV show in years. Drives
Yeah,
my
'cause
parents
people-
insane.
People were playing music.
I watched Arcane.
People were playing music
It's
like
not a
that
TV
all the
show.
time, and it took years until that was blown up.
Yeah,
before
but
they
I think
started.
I think the multimedia industry is going to crack down a little bit faster than music. I'm gonna be real with you. Like as soon as like Disney gets wind that a Disney movie has been watched anywhere to more than 2 people, they're just like, oh, all right, get the lawyers and the gloves, and they're just gonna get the
Goofy, get the Glock.
Goofy.
All right, Mickey, you got it.
Well, the Goof Troops got the Glock.
I'll do it again too. I love murder.
Of all
Yeah,
the
so-
of all the people I don't want to piss off in the entire world, Disney is the one highest up on the list. They are the most terrifying company on the planet.
But dude,
as
it's
far
so
as I'm
weird because
concerned.
no matter what gets to be implemented onto Twitch, though, it seems as though people still get away with it. Like, people still play music a bunch. Twobold, do you want to talk about what your music strategy is?
Oh yeah, I just have it on a separate track. But even then, I don't listen to I listen to copyrighted free stuff, so it's fine for
Still?
the most part. Oh yes, of course. Even on a separate track.
I
On a
dance that
separate
long.
track, so you'll be streaming.
However, there are times, I won't lie, where I put on, Break Shit by Josiah. Sorry, Josiah, I really appreciate that musical track specifically. And I'll just listen to that song, but it's on another thing, so I don't get, striked for it because they can't go back in time and see what I was listening to because it doesn't pop up anywhere. So you can't really prove it unless you're going to do a live strike for a 3-minute song. But I also could be lying, so you can't prove that either. Lawyers, I've got you on both sides.
Oh yeah, we were running out of things to say, so I thought I would make.
This
you
is
guys
a
laugh
joke.
on
I
stream,
don't
yeah.
listen to anything that's copyrighted. I swear.
You know,
Josiah,
but what
just
I'm getting
shout
is
you
that
out.
people still play copyrighted music all the time, despite that whole thing being, I guess, raised awareness of. And then there's also, I guess, another example like XQC. He was watching the Olympics on stream, and they got in trouble for it. I don't know if he faced a big lawsuit, had to pay a fine or whatever. That part never went public, but he still is streaming to this day, unscathed, I guess. It's
True.
just it's weird to think about that. Even
I mean,
after,
I think it's strange that you would go after someone for streaming the Olympics when it's literally everywhere. Why does it even?
because
matter
he's
at that
taking
point?
like 80,000 average viewers from watching the Olympics.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure most of them wouldn't be watching it without XQC anyway. Because, I mean, who watches the Olympics if XQC isn't there going like, dude, is that pole vaulting? And it's like a guy swimming, and you're like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the same.
My friend could potentially be an Olympian.
As a kid, like, I thought it was so cool, the Olympics.
Curling.
And I haven't watched it in fucking years.
Almost
like,
8 years, would you say?
I've
last
never
two
even
Olympics?
heard about him. Like, on Twitter, on social media, like, it's crazy how, like, little I
When you think when you think of the Olympics, what are some big events that you think of?
Usain Bolt. I just want to see the man run.
Exactly.
I just
yeah.
need to see him run.
Also,
I just need to see him run.
Yeah. Also, like Michael Phelps. That all happened in.
Does he still swim?
Michael? No, he's retired. But
He
like,
lost
that
That's what I'm
was.
saying.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was just big athletes that were doing these crazy things that
There's no star factor anymore.
People are beating their records, but the difference is that they're doing it like one person is beating one of their records one at a time.
Oh, okay.
Like they're all like for example, so you guys know what the big thing that Michael Phelps did in 2008 was? Why
did
was
that
such a
one
big
Insane
deal?
amount of gold.
He did that
wasn't-
one stretch where like his rib cage extends out really, really wide, and you're
Well,
like, "That's a manta ray, not a human."
That's not
And
why.
he's like, "No wonder he's
Michael
breaking
Phelps
these
was so
records. He's part
famous."
sea animal."
So-
and he
so-
just kind of starts going like this instead of actually swimming, and his rib cage just kind of flaps along, and he just flies through the
It's
water.
like a
and
pressure.
oh.
It's like a
big-
rail gun coming out of his butt.
The big deal that Michael Phelps accomplished was not only the fact that he won a bunch of golds. No, he actually won the most amount of golds in one Olympics. What do you call it? Yeah, one Olympics
Yeah,
like
but
ever. What he did.
that doesn't matter. It matters the fact that he did the stretch and showed the world that he was part sea creature. That's the part that I remember the most. I don't even know what his best stroke is, and it doesn't matter because all I want to do is just see him do the back slapping stretch thing, where then he like reaches up towards like praise the sun posture, and his rib cages has extended out, and you're like, yeah, there it is. Look, everyone else is terrified of that man creature. Look at him go, and then he just takes a fat rip out of a bong, and then he gets canceled for a little while, and then people are just like, it's weed. I don't know if that's really that bad.
I'm sure. Okay. There is nobody. I mean, mind you, Michael Phelps isn't as much in the
There
news
is nobody that
back
hates
then.
weed more than me. And I think it was a little harsh what
It's
they
that devil's lettuce.
No, the thing is, it's because he smoked it instead of taking an edible. Because as we all know, an edible is just to help you sleep, whereas taking a bong rip is how you get closer to Satan. So
Also,
there's a
nobody
difference.
would have been able to tell if it was an edible. Like it was a photo that got released all over the internet of him clearly taking a hit from a bomb. If it was just him eating a cookie or a brownie.
How do we even know it was him? Huh? Did he have his rib cage extended, or do we have hard evidence?
He had clothes on, so it was kind of hard to tell.
Huh? Corridor
Exactly.
crew?
That's something to think about. Maybe it wasn't even him. Maybe that was just Photoshop. Something
It was just a
they're just like,
lookalike.
this man has accomplished too much. We need to bring him down. Get a lookalike.
Have him do a rip from the bong.
I just can't believe that was like enough to stay that was enough for America to be like, no, you can't go to the Olympics anymore. But he was like, by far, it's staggering the difference in the amount of golds that he has to the next person that has the most golds. I think the most before him is 9. Like a couple people have
That's a
9
lot of
gold
golds.
medals.
That's
He
a
has
lot
like
of golds.
20 something.
And that's
Yeah.
a lot more golds. That's almost like by a multiple factor.
Like, bro, he just make weed legal and like, we continue competing, bro. Like, we would be a fucking Olympic superpower.
He was.
We
he
are.
we
was
just sent
even-
fucking. We just
actually.
sent fucking Michael Phelps to war. And fucking,
Yeah, it's crazy how he had this big downfall. He was this big pothead. He's not swimming anymore. He's showing up late to practice.
he wasn't even that much of a pothead. He said,
yes, because he was still getting golds in 2012. I'm pretty sure, which is crazy to think about.
Plus, he was like older at that point. Like most
And
people
he was
in the
older,
Olympics
yeah,
are like.
I think he
if you
was
think about
around
it, it's actually
21.
crazy how young Olympians are. Like
Yeah,
they're
21.
none of them are past like 25. It's crazy. And like
because
I
your
think
bones
about it, and I was
start
like,
to
what was I doing
shatter.
when I was 21? I was like, I was not accomplished at all. These guys are literally world class athletes.
I
Which
was
is
swimming.
insane.
I'm pretty sure I woke up with a bruise and I could barely walk once.
I hurt myself in my own sleep, and this guy is reaching like 30 miles per hour in a dead run. Like it's crazy. I really just think that the best Olympic sport is just watching someone run faster than they should be able to. Because, like, I really think also we should have that, like, side-by-side comparison where you have, like, a guy from the crowd that looks relatively fit, like, just a normal human, just run right next to them so you can really see the difference between, like, the craziness of an Olympic sprinter. Because like, you just have some guy just like running his heart out, and then the Olympic sprinter is like a gazelle just like gently flying across the strip, and you're like, holy shit, it's not only fast, it's beautiful. And then the guys are like, ah, just screaming his head off.
Did you see that Olympic jumper, how they jump into sand, the long jump or whatever?
Yeah.
That they apparently they needed to extend it for him, like the regulation size of the sand.
Imagine
Because he
leaping
kept landing
too much
on the other side and like getting hurt.
Oh, he wouldn't even land in the sand.
He would land right at the edge of the sand.
Oh.
Much like
And then
Anakin, he
land
disliked the sand, and he did everything in his power to avoid
It's
it
coarse,
at all costs.
and it gets everywhere.
Yeah, so he just landed beyond it, and then he's just like, ah! I wish I had something soft to land in.
To bring up Overwatch one more time, what do you guys want for Overwatch 2? Like, if
The Olympics.
For some reason Blizzard is listening, or sorry, Microsoft is listening to us right now, what do we want changed?
I want another character with a railgun to be released right now. So
Tank.
make Sojourn
sniper
happen.
tank.
Make Sojourn happen. Give me another
Sniper
character. No one wants the sniper tank.
Everybody wants a sniper.
No one
It's hard to
wants
say.
the
I
sniper
still,
tank.
I'm going to be honest, with the little amount of competitive that I've played recently, there's not really a specific character that I hate. Honestly, I think the double shield meta is kind of annoying because it feels like I don't like shooting at shields. I don't. But I feel like that's not even that prominent anymore.
I mean, just whenever you run into it, you're just like, all right, man. Like, I just don't like dying to ball. I think is the real issue. Is like I'm a DPS. I have 200 health, and I can do damage. However, ball can hit me with his body, and then he can body slam me, and I've lost the majority of my health, and he still has 900 health because one of my teammates was nearby me, and he decided to activate his shield, which is just more health for his already oversized health pool, and he's just sitting there beating me to death, and there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it. And I think that's just frustrating.
I guess what I want is that I want them to consistently be updating the heroes. It's not even just adding new heroes, just adding new game mechanics, because I think that's what makes the game fun, is like trying out new things. And I get that it's kind of hard to balance in the competitive aspect of it, but when you make these things like Lucio, his ult that is supposed to heal people, all of a sudden you make it so that it kills people if you land on them, like that is dope. If they're consistently doing that, like that
did make me play Lucio. That was
every
great.
like 2 or 3 months they're changing characters dramatically.
I do think that
That's what I would want.
Other games, like, they kind of play it like loose and fast with adding other characters, and they don't really care too much about the balancing. Like, usually when a new League character or a new Valorant character comes out, they're pretty overpowered, usually. And then after a little bit, they kind of get into the normal game.
They get scaled down. But I mean, that's also from a marketing standpoint just a wise
of
thing
course,
to do.
but why is it that Overwatch is very like meticulous about every character, or hesitant about releasing shit? Like, they should just do it. Just do it, and if it gets a good reception, it gets a good reception. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah,
But it's still something new.
It's still gonna
brings people...
bring people to the game.
Yeah.
Because they have to know about it, you know? Yeah, I agree.
Anything to lower the queue times, really. Like, I think that's the biggest
And you know what
thing,
a lower
'cause
queue
me
time
and
is?
We've been playing League.
Me and
We've been
Fish
playing
literally
League.
yesterday, like, just tried queuing up for comp where we were both playing DPS with priority passes, and it still took 5 minutes for us to find a game, if not longer. Whereas we were all, like, 5 of us were playing League of Legends, and we all queued
The
up for
second you
specific
click
things, and as soon as I
5
clicked
match,
it, it immediately found a match, and you're like, oh,
Pop.
good,
so
that's
different.
great.
It's so different. It is.
I mean,
it is
we
wonderful.
were having like a mixed time because it's League of Legends, so it's like you're either gonna have fun or you're not gonna have any fun at all. So it's like a normal Overwatch game essentially, but like you know, longer. Like, it takes 30 minutes for you not to have fun, whereas like with Overwatch, it's like, all right, maybe 5 if you're getting absolutely if it's stomped.
I mean, I am just so excited to look at the New York map still. And also,
This is all he's been talking about too. Every time Overwatch 2 comes up, he's like, "Guys, I can't wait to go back to New York, find a piece of pizza. I don't even care about the game. I just want the pie."
I might. Oh, go on.
Well, no, I was gonna say, like, I'm not even that excited for the PVE aspect, because I know that it's gonna be the same thing as Uprising or something, except extended. That you're gonna play it once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, like a quirky challenge to do for a YouTube video.
And get
But
all
even
the
then,
achievements for it.
Even then, if you want to do that video that's like different from just playing the game, you're gonna have to do that when it first gets released, because after a while, people aren't gonna care about that anymore, and there's gonna be no point in going out of your way to do something like that. Because if you're doing it for a
Team
YouTube
Fortress
video,
2.
you're probably doing it for views, and if it's too late when people don't care about it, it's not gonna get any views.
For me, like the Overwatch world and lore is so expansive. Like, why can't they put out a good PvE story mode? It's possible for them to do it. Like, they can just do something like Halo, where Halo 1 through Reach were amazing. Like, the stories were super compelling
Except
and like
ODST.
awesome, and you felt a part of it. I remember so fondly, like, me and 4 friends getting together and playing through the story. And I don't see why Overwatch can't do that. And I think maybe now Microsoft might see that nobody gives a fuck about Junkenstein's Revenge or fucking like any of this shit. And
All right, that's not fair though. Junkenstein's Revenge could have been better if they made it more than just adding random robots once every 3 years. All right,
That's what I'm saying.
That's
It was
that's
terrible.
the issue, because the maps were huge. You would always be in a new part of the map when you'd be fighting something. But Junkenstein's Revenge, you're just stuck looking, not even a different part of the map. You're stuck looking at the same like background every time you jump onto a map, or every time.
And
you go
honestly-
to a game.
Blizzard has never done an FPS story. Like, the stories that they do have is like questing through WoW or progressing through beating waves and waves of enemies in Diablo. I don't think there is a story in StarCraft like that playable.
the whole entire campaign of StarCraft, I think, is.
Oh, there's a
story,
campaign?
I think so.
But even then,
I'm
it's
not
just beating
mistaken.
like army after army, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, and then you have the cinematics, which are gorgeous.
Yeah, of course.
Honestly,
but like,
what I always said that they should do, like, even when I was a kid, when like WoW expansions were first coming out, every time, like, the amount of times I don't even play WoW. First of all, never touched the game, don't have any interest in doing so. Paying a subscription to play anything just makes me angry. But like, every time a new expansion would come out and they released a cinematic trailer, I watched it like 10 times. That was like the main reason I went to college to
still
get
do.
like 3D animation. Like a degree in 3D animation, because like I want to be the guy who makes the Lich King go and then like a giant thing of explosions happen, and you're just like, holy, this is gonna be sick that we get to fight that guy. That's like that, like, you put the soul in the character, and like the cinematics were gorgeous. They were gorgeous. I was like, I wish I could see Arcane, except like, you know, Blizzard cinematics, because
dude, like,
unironically, they make great stuff. Like, they should just have the animation team go absolutely nuts, creating like a cinema masterpiece, however long it takes. Because Arcane apparently took like forever to make, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Do that with
6
WoW,
years.
like from the beginning. Like, just go through all of it, and you're gonna have people drooling and frothing at the mouth.
and
for
also
it.
get the people that made those cinematics to be able to do the story, the people that love the story and understand it, instead of getting some fucking movie
Exactly.
company to do it, like what they did with the Warcraft
Exactly.
movie. Not saying that I didn't like it. I thought it was okay, but it could have been better if it was just the people that love it, you know? All right,
Plus,
here's
like,
my
you
elevator
have
pitch for a fucking
lot of
Tracer
shit to go
mission.
through. Okay, sure.
Right?
I want to hear an elevator
Imagine
pitch for
like
Tracer.
a
Hardcore.
fucking Splinter Cell-esque fucking Metal Gear Solid stealth mission where you have to blink from cover to cover, not being seen by spotlights or fucking enemies, and you know what I'm saying, like super overpowered robots because you're a squishy character like Tracer. I think that would be fucking sick.
And,
Why not do
you
some
have
shit like
somebody who's their eyes in the skies that are like, I don't know, taking out cameras on the way from above on a different part of the map.
Exactly. If I played the Incredibles movie fucking game more than fucking Overwatch PvE, there is something wrong with the world. You know what I'm saying?
Did you really?
I love that game.
When did you play it?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah,
for the
okay,
PS2.
but that's completely different. That's the PS2 era. Back then, even I played.
But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
sure, but like that's also a different time period in general. Like, that was back when you like only played those kind of games. Like, I know the gamer I am now compared to how I was back when like PS2 was a thing is completely different. Like, I barely play like any story-driven games at this point, just because I
Play
love
any of the
PvP.
dash missions in the Incredibles movie game. They hold up.
Honestly,
I
they're better
guarantee
than
you.
any
Way
Sonic
ahead of their
game.
time.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what I've said this 100 times about Sonic, but like I never understood the appeal of half of the games. I'm gonna be real with you.
You need to calm down.
I didn't enjoy them.
Sonic Adventure Battle 2 is a fucking work of art and deserves to be in the Smithsonian.
Okay, whatever that means.
Just the Chow Garden.
I'm a very different gamer from how I was as a kid. Like I would play movie games and be like, "This is terrible," but I also paid $30 for it, and that was my allowance for the month. So we're gonna make the most of this. I think the worst game I ever played movie based was like the Chronicles of Narnia, and I remember going through that game and I was just pissed the entire time. Like I hate this. This game is terrible. It doesn't even follow the books or the movies. I was so mad the entire time, and I still played the whole thing. So I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat it."
I just still think it would be very easy for Overwatch to make a very compelling story campaign.
Oh, of course.
It would be
100%.
so easy. So fucking easy. Even just like imagine Hanzo, you're Hanzo as a kid and you're training with a fucking bow. Like that would be so sick. It would be so
They have
cool.
the skins for it for young Hanzo.
Yeah.
Even to just immerse you even further.
And then you get to kick the crap out of your younger brother. Oh my
Exactly.
god,
Make
that
him
would be the
into a
only mission
robot.
I play. It's just you just get Genji by the neck and you just punch him, no bow or anything.
And,
Just
what if-
beat
and then
him.
you have a
Just
mission
beat
as
the
Mercy
crap
where
out
it's
of
like
him.
Operation and you're putting Genji together. Really
And
terrible.
Hanzo is there. He's like, build him again so I can do it again.
when Genji's training with fucking Zenyatta, like meditating and stuff like that, it turns into like some sort of rhythm game. Could be
And then
fucking
Hanzo
sick.
comes out and just starts beating him while he's just like
constantly
meditating.
just beating him up. Just
Every
beating him
scene
up.
that Genji has, Hanzo comes in and punches him in the face.
You just see an arrow like
No, I don't want Hanzo to have a bow. I just wanted to come up and just beat the crap out of Genji every single time. And like it's just a bunch
Charlie
of
horse.
flashbacks.
Like how my
Like it just ends up being a bunch of flashbacks of Genji just misremembering. He's like, yes, when I was training with my master Zenyatta, and then Hanzo beat me, and Zenyatta's just like, that didn't happen. And it's just like the flashback of Hanzo just punching the shit out of his robot body. It's like, there's a lot we need to unpack with your sibling relationships, but we're not going to get into that. That's not this minigame. That one's Psychiatrist. That's when we talk with Mercy again.
You know,
I would love that game. I really would. I think a lot of people
it would be great.
Like every Genji man would be like, why are you doing this to me? And then everyone else is just like, you know what? Finally. You understand.
finally,
you get to feel.
Here's what really happened.
Like the entire cinematic where like Hanzo shoots the arrow for the first time at Genji and he deflects it. He's like, how is this possible? Only a Shimada can control the dragons. And before Genji talks, Hanzo walks over and just starts punching him again.
Punching him. Actually, you see, Hanzo, I'm
Okay. This is completely switching topics, but I just remembered, like, this has been happening to me a lot ever since I moved into this new home. People that are very comfortable just showing up at my door for the smallest reasons. Not the smallest reasons.
It's
again?
Does that happen to you a lot,
Again?
Louis? Because this never happens to me. It's
dude,
just me.
You're the only one.
Okay,
You're the
today
only
it was
one.
something else. It wasn't as scary, but basically they were just simply asking me, they were installing some new phone provider in the house next to me, and they're like, do you mind if we park? Are you going to need to move your car anytime soon? And I said, yeah, probably in the next 2 hours, because I'm gonna leave the house after this. But yeah, it's just like I'm tired of this, of having to go to my front door and talk to these strangers that I've never met before in my house all alone. Like
You're scared, aren't you?
Okay, this one was.
It
scary.
happens too often.
Did I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast.
The
mail guy. Okay, so it's the middle of the day, probably around noon, and my doorbell rings. I go and it's some guy, and he goes, "Excuse me, I ordered a package, and I accidentally put in your address. So, is my package in your home?" And he's like peeping in through my door. I have the screen door up though. That's locked. Like, I always keep that locked because of stuff like that happens. And I'm just like, no. He's like, can I take your number so I can call you later? And I'm just like, no. I can take your number and let you know. And he's like, he even hesitates. He's like, okay. And I'm like, oh, he really wanted my number. And then later in the day, he comes back another maybe 4 or 5 hours later. And at this point, it's dark. It's dark outside. And he goes, so did the package arrive? And I'm like, no, I told you I would text you if it shows up. And he does the thing again where he's like peeping in through my screen door. just like stuff like that happens. So many people are just arriving at my door. The other day, there's a house that's near me that's being renovated. The soon to be owner of the house just showed up on my door, rang my doorbell at 8 a.m. in the morning. Like I was asleep, and he called me there, and he's just like, "Hi, I'm your soon to be neighbor," and I said, "Great to meet you." And he says, "You too. I'll let you go back to bed because I realize, it looks like you were asleep." And I'm just like, "Yeah, I am. Nice to meet you too." And that was the whole.
Did he have to tell you anything?
No, he just said,
"I'm your." He was like a child predator or some shit?
"I am your soon-to-be neighbor," and I said, "Okay, great," because it looks like the house has a lot more work to be done, so it's probably a few more months before you're actually living next to me. He didn't. Maybe
that's what you said.
No. This is what I'm okay. I'm not gonna be mean to the guy, but I was upset on the inside. I was thinking, but yeah, a lot of work needed to be done in the house. And this guy is being like, "I'm gonna be your soon-to-be-neighbor" for no reason. That was the whole point of the conversation. Why he asked me to go to my front door so we could talk to him. I don't know. Maybe he wanted to see what his neighbor looked like or something. But yeah, that was it. He was so happy. He seemed like a genuine guy. But why would you do that? Why are people so comfortable ringing my doorbell for no reason?
Maybe you just look approachable.
But they don't know what the owner looks like.
Through your window.
Then there was this real estate lady that came to my front door that was just like, "Hi, are you the owner of the house? I was told that I need to sell this house." And I said, no, I'm paying rent. The owner is not here. You can probably call his number." She's like, "No, I don't have his number." And I'm like, "Well, that's probably for a good reason that you don't have his number." And then she's like, "Here, you need to take my card because your owner has requested to sell this house." And I'm like, "I will take your card."
You don't even have my owner's number.
Yeah, that's what I said to her. I said, "You don't have the number. There's no way that you can contact him." She's like, "No, but your house is on the listing." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll take your card, but I'm not gonna do anything with this. I am new to this house. I don't think that my landlord is trying to sell it this early unless I'm getting fucked over." But so many people are appearing on my front door. It makes no sense.
Dude, you're getting some very interesting neighbors. Mine just don't like me. They don't talk to me at all. They're just praying for the day I move out.
My neighbors are fine with me.
This happened the other day. Or actually last night, now that I think about it. We were yelling about our favorite colors and whatnot, and I got into an argument with our friend Star. And she doesn't like the color mauve, and I am quite passionate about the color for reasons I'm not going to get. Yeah, it's a good color. It's a fine color, honestly. And she was yelling about how she didn't like it, and I was just like, I really like mauve. And we was just getting into this big heated yelling argument, and the neighbor who came to my door the first time and was just like, "Hey, you need to shut the fuck up." Like, it sent me a text for the first time ever since that incident, which has been a long time, like over almost a year at this point. And the only text they sent me was, "Mauve is my favorite color."
Aww.
I don't think that was aw.
That's awesome.
No, I think that
Hear me through the floor yelling about
so
mauve.
joining in on the conversation.
I love that.
But maybe that's
Just
your way
said
of
mauve
hitting
is
it.
my favorite color. I'm like,
You need
crap,
to
I'm
be
being really
quiet.
loud.
I think that's hilarious.
That is good though. Yeah, I'm glad that you
I
guys
was gonna
can
tell you
finally
right
see
now,
eye to eye on something. You and your
when
neighbor.
I'm
You should
moving
get him a
out-
mauve thing.
No, when I'm moving out, I
want
swear to
flowers.
God, I'm going to give like every one of my neighbors like a bottle of alcohol, and like that the neighbor above me, I'm gonna get them like an envelope, put it in like mauve coloring, and be like, "I am so sorry." My apologies. That's a good time. I'm going to be evicted.
And then he moves to LA.
Yeah,
It is too
becomes
expensive.
one of our neighbors.
Can
That's
you?
okay.
Can someone
We
please
actually,
tell me-
Twobold, that's fine. You're gonna start making money off of this podcast. Louis, did you know that Twobold entered this podcast thinking that he wasn't gonna make any money off of it whatsoever? He just
I
thought
just thought it was for fun. I was all about it. I just
my
enjoyed
goodness.
the podcast. They're like, "You're also getting paid." I'm like, "What?"
Yes, you're taking a cut of the money that we make from this.
You're telling me that I thought I was just spending time with friends on something fun that maybe down the road would get monetized. It's like, we're already monetized.
We're already
What?
making money. Well, we haven't made any money yet, but now like we have enabled the authorization of money to be made through this platform.
Which
And
I
speaking
thought
of the
was
podcast,
crazy.
so much more to come. We have so many fun guests planned.
Yes.
So many new topics that we want to talk about. And definitely, I would love to see comments about topics that people would love to hear. That would be awesome. If you've
100%.
gotten this far, just leave a little smiley face and then put a topic. That'd be great.
Put a smiley face with a nose though, so we know. Just in
a
case.
little nose,
Yeah,
like
give it a
the
nose.
nose.
Only real ones put the nose.
Only
Or
real
they
ones
do
put the
capital
nose.
B with the smiley face, because that's my favorite. That has always been my
There's gonna be
favorite
so
since
many
the
different types of
beginning of
smiley
the
faces. I'm
of the
so
internet.
excited.
At least we get a smiley face. That'll be fun.
All right, and if it is the capital B smiley face, just know that I will personally heart your comment, and if I don't, you can bring it up in the next podcast and be like, "Twobold, you lying punk."
That's a
And I'll
lot
be
of
like,
hearts.
That's fair. Is it?
Yes, I don't want our comment section to be full of hearted comments.
Why not?
Why? It's
Okay.
me on my account, not the
Yeah.
official account. I'll personally be like,
Oh, you'll thumbs it up.
yeah.
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
Okay,
thumbs it
okay,
up.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. I got
Okay.
it. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's fine.
And don't worry, if you have only one like on your smiley face, it's
It's him.
me.
It's
It's
me.
me. It's me.
It's him.
Back off. It's my smiley face.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah.
For real.
Yes.
I hope
thank
you guys
so much
enjoyed
for
this
listening.
segment of.
And I'm glad you guys are enjoying
this
it. The reception
episode.
we've been getting is incredible.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
are great. Thank you so much for all the warm comments and those that aren't so warm. I know where you live.
And this is still a learning process for us. We're getting better every day.
Twobold
So
will move next to you and give you the worst experience noise-wise. at
I
2
will
a.m. in the
yell
morning.
at 3 a.m. I
Yeah.
will, and it's going to be obnoxious. And I'm not going to. When I move out, I'm not giving you anything.
But I am also proud. We were looking at our ranking on the Spotify comedy podcast, and we are actually top 40 right now
yeah,
out of all the podcasts, out of all the comedy.
let's keep
podcasts
it
that are
up. We
out
got to
there.
beat. What was it? 2 broke girls? No.
Two.
Dude, that's
something
a TV show, I think.
that is. It's something.
2 stupid chicks or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, something
Right?
like that. It's two girls. It's some type of title, but yes, for
But
some
we
reason,
have to beat them.
For some reason, Louis made that the achievement that we need to accomplish, which is beating them on the ranked of podcast. But
And they're like 7 ranks ahead of us, and it's just like, listen, guys, we could do this. I'm like, why is this our metric?
yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening / watching on whatever platform you're on. We're available on a lot.
YouTube
And yeah,
and
I guess
Spotify.
we will see you guys next week.
Yep, see you around.
Bye, Louis. Say bye.
Bye.